Okay, guys, I just finished watching episode 6 of Monster Musume, and before I talk about it, I'll have to address something. First off, this episode didn't adapt chapter 12 or 13 as I expected. It only adapted chapter 14 and another one that I am so sure is in the manga. I'm so sure it's in the manga, but I've been looking through all of the volumes and I cannot find it. And let me tell you, okay, the chapter 12 I can understand if they maybe relocate because it's about the monster ops neutralization unit, who is basically monster girls who fight against, shall I say, handle monster crime because humans isn't allowed to hurt monster girls or monsters, yeah, monsters. While and they ain't allowed to hurt us. So that I can understand is being relocated. But chapter 13, and no, it's not the outfit. This chapter, it is freaking important. They better not skip that. It has some major development for Sue. It's a very important chapter for Sue. If they don't want to put her like a useless clutch almost, or let's say just a mimic, then they need to adapt this chapter. They need to adapt it. I'm not sure if it's going to be next week. I can be okay with that. But it needs to be done before this season. Else, it's going to put really down, in my opinion, of Monster Musume. But let's talk about chapter 14. Or actually, let's talk about the first part, which I sadly I cannot find it. I cannot remember where it's from, but I know it's there. I know it. So guys, let me tell you about it. This chapter, or not, the first part, it is about Mia cooking. And doing her cooking, she burns her hands. So she can't peel off the skin that she shred, which is caused because of stress. So she have Darling pull it off, and you know how sensitive her tip is. So yeah, we get some loathy scenes, and later on when he has to remove the skin from her legs, or what would have been legs on a human girl, she wraps her tails around his head, and because she don't want to see it, and she basically like tells him which hand she which hand she need to do and how not what to do. He's been told where he needs to place his hand to pull off the skin, and well, let's just say because she getting confused at a moment because she accidentally said it as it was his right hand, which leads him to getting his hand under her blouse, and yeah, she basically snaps his neck, I think about 4 times. So he should be dead. So we can consider that Darling must be immortal. And later on, after he has been at the hospital and had that neck thing, basically the thing that does so you don't break your neck, even thought it should already be broken, we have him taste Mia's food, which after eating it all, he's basically laying on the table and saying, "Thanks for the food," because he is like, it's so bad. And all the monster girls, except Mia, as a Miru, Poppy, Centauria, and Sue, is standing there like we were too late because they has already tasted her food, and it's really bad. And let me tell you why. In the manga, again, I cannot remember the chapter, so sorry about that. It is explained that lamias can't, they don't have that good a taste like humans, so, or they're missing some taste senses on their tongues, so sugar and salt taste the same for them. So basically, Mia used sugar instead of salt to her food because it tastes the same for her because she can taste it. So therefore, she yeah, that's why her food is so bad. And I really wish they would have told that instead of just I lost the cook. I lost my appetite before shredding. Because that is kind of important information that you as the viewer should be known. So I can, the first part I cannot say is good. I can only say you need to read the manga. I cannot say which chapter, but you need to read it for that chapter at least. I wish I could find it, but again, I've been looking through it, and there's no chapter. I cannot find it. I know it's there. I know it's freaking there. Maybe it's in the extra that is here. Maybe. But let's talk about the second part where Darlin, he basically, or Puppy, she announces that she needs to lay an egg, and the girls jumps to the conclusion that Puppy and the main character has been doing it, so they beat up the main character. But Puppy reveals in the reveals in the chapter that chapter in the episode that it's unfertilized, so it's like chickens, they also lay eggs, even though they doesn't getting laid. And actually, a director has been listening to it, basically spying on them. So, and he want to film the puppy laying the eggs, and it's a little bit different in the manga, because in the manga there's two guys helping him, while in the anime it's just him. And I kind of feel that it's better for it just being him. I'm kind of liking that. But so they agrees to letting him film it, and while they're waiting for Puppy to getting ready to lay the eggs, he interviews the other girls, starting with Mero, who shall we say, he talks about it's like a normal interview, until he asked if she wear pants underneath that cute little skirt, and I actually kind of want to know that also. But of course, you shouldn't ask that. And here is another thing that is different in the anime, because in the anime, when he asks how she gets out of the pool, she explains that she just basically gathering speed and then jumps out. In the anime, I couldn't understand why she was getting flustered, but in the manga, I can see why, because her nipples is basically like hanging over her swimsuit. Basically, her swimsuit has been, like going down, so you can see her nipples. So I understand that. Then she interviews Toria, who he instead of listening to her explaining about her room, which would be very interesting, he asked her if she wears any underwear or bra, and she tells him that she doesn't wear any bra, which he of course needs to test. Yeah, and let's say it like this: he's a creep. Let's just say that. So, because when he then goes to interview Mia, he starts out with, "Does she wear any underwear?" And we know Mia is wearing at least pants. But then he gets an eye on the back with her scales, the one from the previous episode. And yeah, let's say it like this: he wants those scales because he can sell them for profit. But he tricks Mia into giving her scales to him because he whispers to her that he will give them to science, and maybe it will lead it to her getting married to Darling, which of course you know how Mia is, so that's how it goes. And then Puppy comes and tells that she is about to have the egg. So yeah, let's say it like that. Then yeah, we get a little Puppy fan service, where basically the master, he's like helping her by massaging her stomach, and I couldn't understand in the manga, anime, sorry, why he was like getting like red, because when she said, "Master, go a little lower," but in the manga, it shows that his pinky is like almost, it's actually in her pants, so she wants him to go, down there, and yeah, and it looks like he does that. And well, let's say it like this: the director then tells him to take off her pantsuit, and the main character is like against it, but Puppy says it's okay, and he almost gets like a uncensored footage, which would have given him like, with combined with the egg, who is 3 million yen worth, would have given him like 5 million yen. But his plan is getting ruined by Sue, who can read his mind and then tells people what he thinks. That is one of her abilities. Another ability that was explained in chapter 13, I'll not tell what it is, but let's just say it's important. It should really be. This, of course, causes them to, like in the manga, what's called, Mia grabs one of the guys, and Centuria like puts a sword to the throat of another guy, and it's about to jump the director, but he tells that it's illegal for them to harm humans, so they can't attack him. And of course he's right, but he's still an asshole. He's a fucking asshole. He's a fucking asshole. So, but what's it called? Darling, he's smart because he throws like an egg to him, and it's just a normal egg, just to be clarified. But he thinks it's a harpy egg, the director, so he grabs it, and just as he grabs it, the Darling smashes the egg into his face, and you know how Darling is. And later on, Puppy's eggs is getting cooked because she put it in the freezer by accident. And the director, he has apparently lived with the Spider Girl, which we will see next episode. So I fear that they may skip chapter 13, but I really hope they just relocated it, because that is an important chapter. And I must say it's not perfectly adapted, this chapter, but it's better than No, actually, I would say this episode is the worst of the episodes. It's good, it is good, but I will still say that you should pick up volume 3 and read chapter 14, because that chapter is so good. And one thing I will tell you, if episode 10, 9, episode 9 doesn't contain the Papi and Sue, you shall be ready to hear me talking that episode to shit, because that is the fucking best. I'm gonna be so pissed if they don't include that. That's my freaking favorite. So you guys, oh well, you'll most likely want to know how I feel about this episode, don't you? It's an okay episode. It's not as good as the previous episodes, but and it's not been. That's most likely because I had expected them to adapt 12 and 13, but they didn't. They only adapted chapter 14 plus a chapter I can't recall, which in theory means only one chapter, which could mean that they may be trying to slow down a bit, which could lead us to them basically dragging it out and causing us to maybe miss out on stuff for a second season. Okay, I'm okay with the second season, but they better not add filler, because I don't want filler unless it's Sue and Happy, Papi filler. Then I'm okay, but else no, no, no Mia, and especially no Centauria, no fucking Centauria. Miro, I guess we can go with that, but only very slow, only very short, maybe 5 seconds or so, but nothing else. So you guys have a good day, good night, wherever you are. Stay fresh and cheers, guys.